The ROG Phone 2 isn't just a gaming phone, it's an entire gaming ecosystem. Asus aims to offer the best smartphone gaming experience, not just by throwing together the best specs possible, but also by offering pretty much any and every accessory you could possibly need to kind of get the most out of your ROG Phone 2. So what is it that Asus is offering? Well, these unique accessories are exactly what we are going to be taking an in-depth look at in today's video. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see in today's video, please don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's go ahead and get started. Dual screens seem to be the in thing now, with multiple brands launching their take on it. Asus has their own version here. So let's kick things off with the TwinView Dock 2. This is the second generation of the TwinView Dock. Asus debuted it with the ROG Phone, and this one, it feels lighter in hand. Getting the phone in is pretty easy. This is a 120Hz 1080p screen, the same refresh rate and resolution as the display on the ROG Phone 2. And what's more, it also has the same 1 millisecond response time. The TwinView Dock comes with a fan at the bottom, so it provides active cooling to the ROG Phone 2. And to power that extra display and increase playing time, there is a 5000 mAh battery included in here. You can run it in balanced mode or power bank mode, so you can use that 5000 mAh battery to juice up your device. There are loads of other operations inside Armoury Crate, and that lets you customize everything about the TwinView Dock 2, like the RGB LEDs, the second screen settings, and even the fan speed. It is worth noting that the dock is designed in a way that the air triggers are exposed, so they can be used while gaming. We get power and volume buttons on the TwinView Dock itself, since the ones on the phone, they aren't accessible. And there's also a USB Type-C port to the back of the dock and a headphone jack to the front, since the ones on the phones, they don't work while docked. I really like the attention to detail. Asus seems to have put in some thought with regards to the design. So why do we actually need two screens? What's the use scenario here? Well, if you are streaming directly to something like, say, Twitch or YouTube, then you can have the game open on one screen while you have chat going on the other. You can even use this to multitask, say have Excel sheet open on one while you search for something on the other screen. Now both screens are touch capable and give really nice haptic feedback, so the possibilities here are endless. Some games like Asphalt 9, they support a split view as well. Now up next, we have two separate cases for the ROG Phone 2. First, the Armor Lighting Smart Case. Now this is a pretty traditional case. If you're just looking at it as a case, it's made out of hard plastic, it covers the entire back of the phone, and it offers quite a bit of protection. Now it's got an NFC chip and it unlocks a special theme for the ROG Phone 2. That's cool, right? But it is not the most interesting part of this case. Now that would be the clever bit of engineering from Asus that allows using the second flash to light up the Republic of Gamers logo. I'm just amazed by the amount of work and attention to detail that Asus has shown here. Like this tiny lip on the case so that the rubber lid of the side ports doesn't fall out. It's things like these that show how serious Asus is about building this ecosystem. ROG seems to be here to stay. Now, the next case, it's simpler. It's the Aero case. While it doesn't offer as much protection as the Armor Lighting case, it's really thin and light and looks almost like a sci-fi movie prop. It still does a good job protecting the edges. It also acts as a barrier, putting some space between the phone and the surface on which we tend to place the phone on. So it kind of protects it from minor dings and scratches. And of course, the ROG Phone 2 has a glass back, right? So like all phones with a glass back, glass is slippery, and the design here, it adds grip. Again, we see the attention to detail. This case allows for the RGB logo and the back design to shine through, and it also works with the Aero cooler too. Talking about which, we have the new Aero cooler this time. The ROG Phone 2 has impressive passive cooling, but we can take the cooling performance a step further with the Aero cooler too. It keeps the phone running cooler by 5 degrees and also blasts air directly over the vent of the phone. The fan and the intake are both larger this time, so it's able to pull in more air to cool better, and it's also more silent than ever at just 24 decibels. Now, since it is an ROG device after all, there are RGB LEDs, And these lighting effects along with the fan speed, they can be controlled through the Armoury Crate app again. Now just like with the last generation cooler, there is a USB Type-C port to allow for charging this way while gaming, and there's also a headphone jack here. Now the only con is the fact that it's not included with the phone anymore. Well, actually it is included with the 12GB RAM variant, but not the base variant, and that's a con only if I'm nitpicking, because the base variant, it's very aggressively priced this time around. Now with that said, let's return to the docks. We have a mobile desktop dock here. This is a very unique accessory. Now we've seen docks before from other brands, but this is one of the most complete packages that we've come across. It's powered by this Type-C port to the back. Once the ROG Phone 2 is plugged in, the screen now gets mirrored onto an external monitor. For this, we can use either a HDMI 2.0 or DisplayPort out. Both options are provided to the back of the dock, and here we also find 4 USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports. So we can plug in a keyboard, mouse and other accessories. There's also a headphone jack to the back apart from a separate mic input for all audio needs. Completing the gaming setup is a Gigabit Ethernet port for connectivity, so no more Wi-Fi drops. We get solid Gigabit Ethernet for gaming. Now that's not all. To the side there's also a DisplayPort and micro USB 3.0. Now these two are inputs. They can plug in directly from a PC setup, and we can click on this tiny button to switch your monitor and keyboard mouse over to the PC or the ROG Phone 2. So basically we can use the same monitor and peripherals for the PC or the ROG Phone 2, and that makes sense, right? You can't realistically expect someone to use a dedicated monitor and keyboard mouse, for a phone, to actually game via a phone. And we also get an SD card reader here, and that is an added bonus. Okay, so how do the keyboard controls work? Well, we need to use the Game Genie tool to map the controls. We can press F11 directly on the keyboard or slide from the edge of the screen on the ROG Phone 2 to bring up Game Genie and customize the controls. Let's get to the customization process a bit later. But before that, let's take a quick look at this ROG Kunai Gamepad. Now this one turns the ROG Phone 2 into a kinda sorta handheld console. Slide the two ends of the Kunai controller onto either side of this bumper case, and voila, the ROG Phone 2 is now a handheld console. I can see why Asus compared this to a Switch. You can even dock the two individual controllers here and use it as a Bluetooth gamepad of sorts. I think this is one of the coolest accessories for the ROG Phone 2. It works really well with games that support physical controllers, and Asus have also provided a lot of options to customize. There's literally a ton of buttons here, like to the back of the controller, and we can map it to pretty much any game function that we choose. Having said all that, I wish the L2 R2 buttons had a little bit more travel. They felt a little mushy to me. Other than that, the rest of the Kunai Gamepad felt really well built, and it was a treat to use. Just like with the mobile desktop dock, we again use Game Genie here for the customization. So let me show you how that works. So first, let's fire up a game, say PUBG. Let's open Game Genie by swiping from the edge, and once we have a gamepad or a keyboard connected, the key mapping option automatically turns up. After this, it is as easy as pressing a button we want to map and then dragging the icon of the button onto any on-screen buttons. You do get special buttons for looking around that you can drag around, and generally it's connected to the right stick of the controller, as that's the conventional layout. So that's about it, pretty easy, right? And that's about it for this video. So what do you think about these accessories from Asus? What do you think about this ecosystem that Asus is building for this ROG series of phones? Personally, I really like what Asus has done here, and I feel these accessories, they kind of are going to enhance anybody who's interested in gaming, and if gaming is kind of priority, you might actually find use in some of these. So what do you guys think? If gaming is a real priority to you, are these some things that you find interesting? Are these accessories? Do you see yourself using these accessories? If yes, which was your favorite accessory? Let me know in the comments below. And I guess that's pretty much it. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.